All right, let's jump right into this explainer. We're looking at a truly monumental shift in the tech landscape right now. I mean, we're talking about a fundamental rewiring of how we actually experience social media. And this is a shift that's scheduled to fully materialize by 2026. If you've been, paying attention to your apps lately, you've probably already felt the winds of change. So we're going to break down the sources detailing this new Meta 1 paywall, and we'll examine a fascinating countermovement that's springing up as a result, the rise of digital sovereignty. Let's explore what this actually means for you, for Wall Street, and honestly, for the future of the internet itself.
Okay, let's dive into this because we're officially witnessing the end of the free lunch era in social media. With the launch of Meta 1 and these new Plus tiers across Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp, Mark Zuckerberg is signaling a massive shift in the digital social contract. Look, for 20 years, the unspoken agreement was simple, right? You get these incredible, globally connected platforms for free, and in exchange, your data acts as the currency. That data drives targeted advertising. But the rules of the game are changing. As we move toward 2026, Meta doesn't just want your attention and your data anymore. They literally want your credit card, too.
Section 1. The Great Divide. Wall Street versus users. This incredibly ambitious, industry-shaking rollout hasn't just caused a few ripples. It has completely divided the tech world into two distinct opposing camps. To really understand this divide, we got to look at the optimists first, primarily Wall Street analysts. From a purely financial perspective, they view this subscription shift as a necessary maturation. Historically, 98% of Meta's revenue has been tied to ad markets, and those markets, they can be highly volatile, especially with tightening global privacy laws making targeted ads way harder to pull off. So analysts see Meta basically copying the highly successful blueprint of Snapchat Plus to create a reliable hedge, predictable, recurring revenue. Makes sense, right? It's a sound business maneuver. But then we have the critics. This is primarily users and digital rights advocates, and they are calling this the monetization of oxygen. Their argument is that Meta is leveraging its near-monopoly status to start charging for basic, essential features. We're talking about things like advanced analytics for creators or simple UI customization, stuff that costs the company virtually nothing to provide. So it's a clash, right? A company seeking financial stability on one side and users feeling nickel and dime for tools they already rely on the other.
Section 2. The WhatsApp shock. Breaking the promise. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it transitions us to the most jarring move of this entire subscription rollout. $2.99 a month. That is the price for the newly introduced WhatsApp Plus. And this is the move that caught industry watchers totally off guard. Why? Because it completely shatters the famous free forever promise that Meta made way back during its 2014 acquisition of the app. Sure, basic messaging stays free, but this $2.99 paywall locks away features like custom themes, special ringtones, and extended message pins. Critics point out that this sets a precedent. It signals a future where the standard, free experience is intentionally diminished or kept stagnant, basically practically forcing you to upgrade just to get a modern, customizable messaging experience.
Which naturally brings us to the big question. Why now? I mean, why risk the wrath of billions of users? Why shatter a decade-old promise and pivot so aggressively to a subscription model across all platforms at this exact moment in time? What is truly driving this sudden, industry-shaking pivot?
So the crucial point is infrastructure. This is the hidden engine in the basement of this entire strategy. The pivot isn't just about padding the bottom line. It's about funding a massive existential shift for the company. Meta is transitioning its core focus from traditional social networking over to generative AI. And let me tell you, that leap requires a truly staggering amount of capital. We are talking billions upon billions of dollars needed for new, highly specialized AI chips, and the massive data centers required just to cool and run the whole operation.
Think of it like this. Meta 1 isn't just a membership. It's actually a crowdsourced subsidy for the next generation of computing. When you pay for that Plus tier, just so you can pin a few extra messages or change your chat theme, those subscription fees are acting as a direct funding source. Meta's massive AI investments need cash, and turning billions of free users into paying subscribers is exactly the strategy to generate it. You aren't just buying app features, you are literally crowdsourcing the capital expenditure for the AI revolution.
Section 3. Reclaiming digital sovereignty.
Let's move to and see how this builds an alternative path. As Meta transitions into what effectively looks like a corporate utility, charging monthly fees for basic access, an emerging counter-movement is gaining serious momentum. Users and creators are looking around and realizing, hey, we don't want to just be tenants on Zuckerberg's land anymore.
For communities that feel this Meta 1 era is a betrayal of the open web, new solutions are popping up. Enter Web4.community. It's an accessible platform providing the actual tools for anyone to build independent, free social networks or even localized super apps. It represents a total paradigm shift away from relying on big tech's centralized, tier-based systems, offering a real way out for groups that truly value digital independence.
Now, if you were wondering why a creator or community would go through the hassle of migrating away from the massive built-in audience of Meta to build their own platform, our source outlines 3 core benefits. First up, ownership. On an independent platform, you actually own the data, and more importantly, the direct relationship with your audience. You aren't just renting access to them. Second, niche focus. You can create a specialized space perfectly tailored to your community's specific needs, completely free from artificial plus paywalls that gate off basic features. And third, sovereignty. Honestly, this just means peace of mind. No more waking up to find the algorithm has magically changed, your reach has plummeted, or a free forever promise has suddenly been broken. The central argument here is that when a platform becomes too big, individual users are inevitably treated as extraction points. Building on an independent platform is a way to return to the internet's original promise, an open space built by the people, for the people.
And that leads us to our final thought for today's explainer. You really have to ask yourself, does convenience outweigh the cost, or is it time to migrate? It's a choice every single digital citizen, creator, and business is going to have to make as we approach 2026. Thanks for joining me to explore this fascinating shift.